Oh my gosh. We've got Blake and Baldoni news again today because it's what everyone's talking about. We got a lot of information, like the PR firm that Blake mentioned was harassing her and trying to ruin her reputation. They're suing her for defamation for $7 million. We also have a new podcast by Harvey Levin and Mark Garagos, where they featured Brian Friedman, and it's actually a pretty good podcast. It's called Two Angry Men. Yeah, Justin's attorney, and they go over the facts about like how, if Taylor Swift is involved, they don't want to depose Taylor Swift. So it could just be a big settlement because no one wants to have Taylor Swift on the stand, especially Taylor Swift.
It just reiterates what I think we've said on this very astute podcast with three pop culture professionals. There is very little chance this is ever going to go to trial, or at least it's hard to believe because of what you just said, Dawn. And, sometimes it's nice to have actual professionals,
lawyers,
echo what we believe and what the blinds have sort of led us to believe, which is there is no way in heck that Taylor Swift wants to be answering questions in a deposition, which, by the way, I see Mike folding some paper, so it's making me think.
What's he doing?
You got any news or something in there in that paper? Oh, okay.
It just seemed paper away.
Oh, okay. It just seemed like...
He was going to play that game where you go,
Anyway,
we'll ask questions and
will this end up in trial?
Who will I marry?
There is no way in a deposition that Taylor Swift wants to be around, but also Blake and Justin, because in a deposition, and I was just reminded of this listening to that podcast with Harvey Levin and Mark Garagos, they can literally ask pretty much anything. Like there's no judge to object to or to take objections to. And so nobody wants to be in that room. I'm sure Justin Baldoni doesn't want to be in a deposition.
Suppose. Nobody wants to do that.
With Blake's attorneys, because it's going to force them to all put things on the record that will show us how the sausage is made.
I will just say, if that happens, the amount of zeros that are going to be on that check for Justin Baldoni, because he's the one who's going to take the biggest hit if this doesn't actually play out.
Oh, yeah.
He's the one whose reputation has already taken a hit because he's built his whole reputation off of this idea that and his feminists, these concepts and this idea that he's fighting for people who have experienced these things. And if you're going to say, okay, now we're just going to cut it off here, nobody's going to hear anything more about this case, you're going to have to sign NDAs.
Yeah.
He's going to need be good for him.
Taylor is going to be writing a big check too if she needs to, because if she doesn't want to be deposed, that's fine. But
I will say
he's going to make a lot of money off of it.
I will say though, this is not and again, to be clear, this is not passing judgment on the merits of the actual legal case or legal actions that we're talking about, because that is, for another day when we have all the information in front of us, which we just don't. Right now, it's about a PR war. And it just seems like Justin's attorneys have been more successful than Blake's at managing this narrative. Because think about this. Before, we knew who Justin Baldoni was because he was a name mentioned in Hollywood and maybe in Blinds once in a while. I don't even know if we ever talked about him. Barely, right? Everybody is talking about him now. So if we didn't know about him, and we talk about celebrities all the time, and now everybody's talking about him.
Right.
There is a certain amount of success he's achieved despite whatever the outcome is in this trial, meaning there is an awareness of him just from a pure publicity standpoint. Whether that's good or bad is for someone else to argue. But I would say it seems that he has at least, done himself decent in terms of getting publicity.
Yeah, because people have already made their own, just like in the court of public opinion, like armchair quarterback sitting at home. People have made their decision about who they believe already. And it isn't 90% Blake and 10%. It's kind of, I think, probably 50-50 at this point.
I get, and Mike, tell me what you think, but I get the impression that people think they both suck.
Yeah, and to Don's point, though, that's in that 50-50 range. You got to have people saying one thing after saying the other, and I agree with that. I think the problem is, yes, he's got a lot of notoriety. He's got a lot of promotion because of this, but half those people think you're a creep now.
Yeah.
And your entire career has been built on not being a creep. In fact,
Yeah.
being an advocate for those who've experienced traumatic things.
Yes.
And now all of a sudden, that's gone. You can't do that anymore because if they end this right now, he can't talk about it anymore.
I just think people's memory is real short.
Maybe.
So they might not remember why. Why do we know Justin again?
Perhaps.
I'm saying give Hollywood a few minutes and they'll come up with a plausible
Absolutely.
reentry if they want whatever he's got. But you're right. I think it is too early to tell how any of this is going to end up for either of them.
And let's be honest, Justin Baldoni is 41 years old. He's got a beautiful family, it looks like. We're talking about the opportunity to say, okay, you can't talk about your career anymore. Your career is over, but you have generational wealth now because you're going to get a check for $500 million.
Yeah.
So there's that argument
that's
too.
True.
Yeah.
So I don't know. We'll see.
Even if they bargain $300 million.
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
That'll work.
Yeah.
I don't know.
if you, I don't know. It's just so weird.
Yeah.
Hollywood, man.
And it doesn't matter at this point who's right or wrong because he's won so much in the court of public opinion that you can't just have him sign an NDA right now. It's not going to happen.
Do you know one other thing I hadn't thought about is that, and some lawyer that I was watching on YouTube pointed this out, that or reminded me that communications between a husband and wife are generally considered off limits in terms of when you're being deposed or in a legal
Right.
what do you call that? In a case?
Sure.
Expert. Anyway, just like they are with attorney-client privilege, there is also between husband and wife. And I thought, that actually does benefit Blake and Ryan to have whatever plans they had. I think a lot of people have assumed that they wanted to take over this film. But if they ever talked about it, they fully could have just been on text. I don't know why you would do that, but just texted each other like, we're going to take over this film and it's going to be amazing. But even if they did that, we wouldn't be able to know that.
Right.
Because they could claim, spousal privilege.
For sure.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Boy, well, we've got it all figured out. Just stay tuned here, folks, for the latest.
No,
Actually,
we
we don't have it figured out, but we are always looking at what just happened with this daily. So this is where you come for information about these two.
And if you've got look, the other thing I know about Blinded by the Item viewers and listeners is that you guys have hot opinions. So leave them in the comments because you will occasionally point us in directions of other people who are talking about these things that's helpful. So thank you.
Yes.
Keep it coming.
And to get those hot opinions, be sure to again like and subscribe and hit that notification bell. Let's get started with some blind items today. This small yet successful studio is not pumped that their best shot at Oscars this year has spent the last couple of weeks spending more time indulging himself at fashion events than doing press for the movie. This small but successful studio is not pumped that their best shot at Oscars this year has spent the last 2 weeks indulging himself at fashion events and doing press rather than doing press for a movie.
Okay. Is it A24? Is it a Nora? Okay.
You and that Nora, man. I swear a day doesn't go by that she doesn't mention a Nora.
Oh my God, that is not true.
It is true.
No.
I guarantee you've mentioned it at least twice this week.
Well, it is Thursday, so.
It's not a Nora. Okay, but it is A24. That seemed like the obvious part. But now we're talking about he who likes to be fashionable.
Is it Baby Girl? Okay.
This small but successful studio, let me just fill in with what you got so far. A24 is not pumped that their best shot at Oscars this year has spent the last 2 weeks indulging himself at fashion events rather than doing press for the movie.
God.
It's not Timothy, is it?
No.
Okay.
What are the A24 movies?
That's
only
what
one.
I'm trying to.
Oh, there's only
one?
Right now for Best Picture.
Oh, Best Picture. Okay.
And it happens
I
to
should
be
know these.
the favorite.
Oh, ballistical. What's it called?
The Brutalist?
Brutalist.
Yes.
Ballistical. Look.
Adrian Brody.
There you go.
There you go.
A24 is ballistical.
Well, it was either that or Kabbalistic. I don't know. I knew there was a buh in there somewhere.
A24 has not been pumped that their best shot at an Oscar this year, The Brutalist, and its star has been indulging himself at fashion events for the last 2 weeks rather than doing press for the movie. I will say that really changed this week as we got an entire spread on him from, I think, Variety. There was a Vanity Fair article. He was just on Fallon on Monday, so he's making up for it.
For sure.
So maybe they were like, hey, don't forget, we got a campaign here.
Did you guys hear my favorite story of when he was on The Late Show recently?
No.
He was talking about the fact that he got done doing a scene for The Brutalist, and while they were removing his makeup, the makeup artist started putting this solvent all around his nose.
Yeah.
And he looked at her and said, if you're trying to take that off, it's not going to work.
That's my real nose.
That's my real nose.
Yeah, he does have a very prominent nose.
Oh, my God.
I mean, if there was an award for noses, he's up there.
She said, I think, oh, my God, I am so sorry. This is going in my journal.
Oh my God!
He had a lot of
mortified. You're like, here, let me take that off for you. Ah, it's attached.
He had a lot of fun with it.
I'm
That
sure.
is funny.
And man, it's a good looking dude with a.
He really is.
You guys seen Ocean's 13?
No.
In Ocean's 13, there's actually this joke that Matt Damon playing a character is going to go with the Brody, which is this massive nose that he puts on the character.
Okay.
So there you go.
Fun time.
And by the way, I'm seeing that movie tonight. So I'll let you know tomorrow.
Let us
how it
know.
goes.
Because that's the film, surprisingly, that was allowed to have an intermission plugged in because it's like a 3.5 hour film, right?
Yes. 3:20 and then a 15-minute intermission built in.
I really hope that continues.
Yes.
I mean, every theater show, live theater show that I see, not every, but most live theater shows have intermissions. Come on.
They're going to make movies as long as they're stretching them out, I want an intermission.
Yep.
There you go. Let's do another blind item here. Rolling through them today. People can act like this is breaking news, but we've been telling you for months that the permanent A-list singer will not leave her, quote, man, because unfortunately, that's her easy drug hookup. People can act like this is breaking news, but we've been telling you for months that the permanent A-list singer will not be leaving her, quote, man. That's because, unfortunately, he's her easy drug hookup.
I thought at the beginning it was Taylor Swift, but then you said drug hookup. I'm like,
It's like Taylor Swift.
And she's like, I need my drugs.
Bradley, you want to shake the back of your microphone real quick? I think there's something loose going on with your mic. Give it a little shake here for a second. And Dawn, you keep guessing.
Okay. What the hell is going on? How about
Can you hear me?
Rihanna
It's not Rihanna, no.
or Rihanna? Sorry.
Yeah, you sound all right. It was just getting really like something was loose. It sounded like.
You're loose.
I mean,
That's what he's saying.
Now you're going too.
I'm
is
going
that
to.
you? I think maybe you're
Maybe
loose.
your
I don't
headphones.
hear anything.
I don't think it's okay. We'll find
What
out.
when you say loose,
What do you mean
what does
by
that
that?
mean?
It's like going in and out. Very
Oh.
soft,
in
then
and
loud,
out,
and then
in
soft.
and out.
Do I? I'm not in and out for you. Am I,
Not
Don?
for me.
Okay, then
I
maybe it's over
wonder-
here.
Well, I mean, it could be. We just don't hear it.
Okay. Let me read this
Where are
one
we?
for you again. People can act like this is breaking news, but we've been telling you for months that the permanent A-list singer won't be leaving her, quote, man, because unfortunately, that's her easy drug hookup.
Okay. Permanent A-list singer.
Permanent A-list singer.
Madonna.
Oh, don't say Madonna.
Madonna. Okay.
Good. Not Madonna.
Mariah.
No, she doesn't have a man.
Oh. What happened with Brian Tanaka?
Oh
Banaka.
God, that was like 300 years ago.
Okay. I know. I thought she's back with
Ancient
him.
history.
Whatever.
People
okay.
are screaming right now at the
They
radio.
are.
Are they?
And it's not because your audio is going in and
Lady
out.
Gaga.
It's on my end, by the
Charlie
way. I
XCX.
figured out what was going on. Yes.
Permanent A-list.
Yeah.
God. Barbara Streisand.
And a drug hookup.
Streisand.
Drugs, Dawn. Drugs.
I don't know who does drugs.
Who does drugs.
Charlie XCX.
No, we did that already. Mike, why are you making that face?
Because we haven't talked about her for a while, you guys are acting like you've never heard of her.
Oh.
Celine Dion.
We do this every time. Do you know why it's so hard to remember her name?
Ariana
What?
Grande.
Nope. Because
Selena
we
Gomez.
don't. Can I get a word in?
Still not Selena Gomez.
No. Girl, think about it. Because we don't think of her as a permanent A-list singer anymore because she doesn't sing. But she's permanent. You can talk now.
Okay. Permanent A-list. So, because she's acting or just being fabulous?
She's acting like
Well,
something.
she's acting like something and maybe
Britany?
only. I hope that's not true.
People can act like this is breaking news, but we've been telling you for months that Britney Spears will not be leaving her man because, unfortunately, he's her easy drug hookup.
Well,
Is this still that guy?
Yes.
Paul Solis.
We just saw Britney out and about with Paul Solis and some of his 9 children at a park.
Whatever happened?
can we just say Paul Sleaze?
Yes.
Okay. Whatever happened?
Whatever happened to, I believe the mother of some of his children was trying to get custody
Yeah.
because weren't they allegedly staying with Britney? We just, I will say, I think we must admit we have not kept up with Britney
Mm-hmm.
Right.
because I think we've been a
We've
little
been
preoccupied.
A little distracted.
That's fine. But if there are people out there who know what's going on,
And her brother Brian was supposed to be living with her and staying with her, and we were so excited about that because
That
he's
seemed to
the
fizzle
one in
out.
the family that, yes, he did take money out of the conservatorship in the beginning, but as far as family members, we feel like he's the most trusted and loyal to her. So, okay, well,
there's a lot going on right now.
There is.
All right. Well, I hope that she gets the help that she needs.
me too.
That's what we say to all celebrities when drugs are involved.
Speaking of drugs being involved. So this Nepo baby who only gets in relationships with those who can help his very limited notoriety has turned his horrible last 48 hours into a commercial for his business. It's actually kind of a decent move. This Nepo baby who only gets into relationships with those who can help his very limited notoriety has turned his horrible last 48 hours into a commercial for his business. It's actually kind of a decent move.
I know who this is.
Yeah.
Well, give me
Got to
a hint.
be,
Give some clues to
Give me a
Bradley.
okay,
Let him get there.
railroad tracks.
Railroad tracks. Girl, give me an actual hint, not just
That's
words.
a good one.
Goat.
How about
Railroad tracks.
sneakers?
Goats on a railroad track
Yeah.
wearing sneakers.
Okay. A hint would imply there's something I can
Okay.
jump onto.
Yeah, jump.
Jump.
Those sneakers.
Yes.
Jump man.
Oh,
Jump very
yes.
high.
Tracks. Okay, now I'm tracking.
Yeah.
I'm down the line. There might be a D and two B's involved.
Yes.
A D
The
and
only thing
B's.
you're going to find in these pants are a D, a big D, and 2 B's.
Not honeybees.
And some
You're
cocaine.
talking about Michael Jordan's son.
Marcus Jordan.
Yep.
This Nepo baby, Marcus Jordan, who only gets into relationships with those who can help his very limited notoriety, has turned his horrible last 48 hours into a commercial for his business. It's actually kind of a decent move. You
Yeah.
guys see his most recent comments?
I have not,
No.
but he does have he's into shoes, right?
Marcus Jordan speaks out following DUI arrest. He went to Instagram and said, I appreciate everyone for reaching out. I'm focused on Trophy Room Store right now and won't be making any comments on the recent media stories and my personal life. I sincerely appreciate your concerns and thank you for your kind understanding with a championship trophy.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my God.
Yep.
I mean, marketing.
It's like I said, it's a good
Good
move.
for him. Good for him.
Smart.
One of
We're all
our-
waiting to hear what he's going to say. And now I know he's got a room that is the trophy room where he sells stuff.
Yes.
I had no clue.
So one of our listeners gave us a tip that this is all about sneakers and, Air Jordans, and he had a bunch of sneakers that were going to be for sale, but then he said they were unavailable, but then he just sold them all like on the black market or something. Like there was some shady business going on with like lots and lots of sneakers going missing, and then he just sold them. So
Okay.
controversy
Thanks for that.
surrounding
Sounds like it.
the trophy room.
There you go.
But that's not a fact. That's just allegedly.
We
'Cause I know
only
he
deal in
watches this and
facts
listens.
here on Blinded by
That's
the Item. Don't be coming here with that allegedly
Just please
stuff.
read the disclaimer that's at the top of every video.
Yes.
that you've watched on this channel.
Yeah.
Right there, I don't know.
It's another blind item here. Nicely done on that one. Now that the studio has bailed on this 3 named actress, just wait until they start interviewing her exes. The stories will get much, much worse.
Jennifer Jason Leigh. No,
Oops, sorry.
Just all who I. Oh, it's like, wait, that's just my stock answer. Okay.
Now that the studio has bailed on the 3 named actress, just wait until people start interviewing her exes. The stories will get so much worse.
Is this from Amelia Perez? Carla Gascon, but I can't remember the middle. Sophia Gascon.
Yeah.
According to the blind items, now that Netflix has completely bailed, which, by the way, if you haven't seen, they completely bailed. Like, their For Your Consideration video for Amelia Perez features everything other than the leading actress, which is the award that Carla was up for. And according to the blind item, though, just wait until the people start interviewing our exes. The stories will get much worse. I don't know about that part. That's what's in the blind items.
God, do we have to go that far?
Well, it's Hollywood, man. I mean, we talked about it a little bit yesterday. I don't know if we talked about it on Blinded by the Item, but on the radio we certainly did. This is just, you understand the position Netflix is in, but you also understand that people, should be allowed to explain themselves and, you know, have some grace when it comes to an apology if they are truly
misinformed, sorry.
Or just wrong and admit that they were wrong or inappropriate or whatever it is. So like, but at the same time, it's Hollywood, man. This is not like what you would like to have happen.
Yeah, it's not fair.
There are a bunch of people, not this person, who didn't make those comments, whose, talents are now being put at, well, I shouldn't say, the acknowledgement of their talent is being put at risk because of this one person's statements.
Mm-hmm.
So you kind of get it.
If you watch the betting odds of the Oscars like I do, they have taken a hit.
I'm sure.
Everyone involved, including the movie. It was the second favorite. It was the only one that was maybe going to give a run to The Brutalist, and it doesn't look like that's going to be happening now.
Ooh, that's too bad.
Things can change, but
I really thought it was an amazing film.
I do want to see it. I still haven't seen it.
Very unique and like a story that needs to be told, and it was just great. I loved it in many different ways. So it's a shame that this is happening.
It is by far, of all the Best Picture nominees, the most polarizing.
Oh.
Because it is by far the most acclaimed, up for the most awards. And I have heard more people say it's trash than have your opinion.
Really?
100%.
Well, I will say people close to me in my very own home did not like or think that the film was worthy of Best Picture.
Okay.
But I am really excited to see it just because I think it does sound so different. And I guess it probably comes down to, in part, if you like something that's a little ziggy when everyone else is zagging.
Ziggy zaggy.
You know what I mean?
Oi, oi, oi.
Oi, oi, oi.
Oi, oi, oi.
Ziggy zaggy, ziggy zaggy. Oi, oi,
Is it
oi.
Oktoberfest in here? Mike took a drink. Okay, gone.
All right.
Okay, sorry.
See, hold on.
Lemon water is fantastic.
Ooh, I want some lemon water. Do you always drink lemon water?
Certain times of the week, yeah.
Okay.
Is
Very
it
hydrating.
like Tuesdays and Thursdays or?
Usually the end of the week. It helps to really flush out everything that you've had all week long.
Look at you being all
Flush it.
flushy.
Yeah.
Well, your skin looks lovely today.
Thank you. Notice that spot right there. Where the camera and the light is not doing me any favors on my bald head. Okay, let's do another blind item here. This is going to be the last one here. In addition to the recent announcement, the permanent A-list singer also has a deal in place with the streamer for a behind-the-scenes special, a musical project, and even an upcoming movie role. It almost seems like it's a distraction. Just wait. In addition to the recent announcement, the permanent A-list singer also has a deal in place with the streamer for a behind-the-scenes special, a musical project, and even an upcoming movie role. It almost seems like a distraction. And yes, the is actually written in there, so I had to repeat them.
I kind of have an idea, but I want to flesh it out a little bit. Is this someone who's actively looking to distract from some negative headlines that...
If you'd believe the blind items, maybe.
Oh.
Not like actively negative
It's
headlines.
not Taylor Swift.
No, it's not.
Okay.
This recent announcement.
Yep.
Is it? Does it have to do with the The Octos. The Oscars.
Nope, an A-list singer.
A-list singer. Oh.
A permanent A-list singer.
Okay.
Just announced something, and they have a relationship with a streamer, and they're apparently going to be working heavily with the streamer.
And it's a distraction from like a controversy involving them directly.
If you're in the blind items, yeah.
Lady Gaga?
No.
She's
a queen.
She's a queen.
Beyonce?
Queen Bee.
Oh, Beyonce.
She just announced a Cowboy Carter tour, and it sounds like she's got a deal in place with Netflix for behind-the-scenes special, a musical project, and then also even an upcoming movie role. Feels distraction-y.
Yeah, that's some blind item talk for...
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, that was fun.
We'll tune in tomorrow, and you should too, because we do this every day on the radio on MyTalk. We do it wherever you get podcasts, and we've got our very own YouTube channel called
Blinded by the Item.
Blinded by the item.